Watch a liberal snowflake meltdown when she sees the Dukes of Hazzard Dodge Charger at a car show. What if I told you that there was just a good old layboy who never meanin' no harm, got in trouble with the liberal law since the day he brought his Dukes of Hazzard car to a heritage festival? Sadly, this is not a hypothetical question. One such Dukes enthusiast was berated and ordered to move his classically southern car by an extremely pissed-off woman who took it personally. Watch, if you dare, her ascent of the car, driver and general political downfall of the country if her wishes aren't granted. Via the blaze. A woman identified as Bea Anderson ranted and raved hysterically during the Highland Creek Heritage Festival in Toronto when a near replica of the Dukes of Hazzard car bore its traditional Confederate flag insignia. In the 4-minute video, Anderson's behavior becomes increasingly unhinged, yelling profanities at a man identified as a friend of the car's owner and screaming, while continuously interrupting him despite asking him for an explanation. This racist car with not one, but two Confederate flags on it is front and center, the first thing that people see when they walk into this festival. Anderson, a woman of color, said, "People who look exactly like me and my son died, were murdered because of that flag. Remove the car or there will be hell to pay," she demanded. She keeps yelling about how the South lost the war. One would not have to be particularly educated to know that, and if they're okay with flaunting it, I'm not sure why she'd have a problem with it. The reason that people keep flying the flags isn't because they hate black people. Well, I'm sure there are a few weirdos out there that do, but not in general. It's because then, as now, the focus was shifted to the entire war being about one issue, when it was about many. The war was about all the states' rights, one of which was slavery, which was, of course, bad. However, the North needed a really great feel-good cause to hang that war on because of the devastation that it brought on most of the South. So, they took that one right, and said that the whole war was over that, and not the state's ability to make many of its own laws. And whether they like it or not, it's a heritage festival and that's what many people consider to be their heritage. Another issue to address is the fact that she's claiming to speak for an entire race of people in this nation. Doesn't it seem like if another person of color isn't offended, maybe it's not really offending the whole race, or is there only allowed to be the one opinion for the whole race? And if so, why do I think it's not a democracy in that they're not allowed to vote on what the party line will be? Also, as another part of our heritage, you don't get to just demand that someone remove something from property that you don't own, just because you don't like it. I guess we could be generally sorry that your day was disrupted, but unless you buy the land it's sitting on, or start your own festival, you don't get to push your own will off on other people. That's kinda how freedom works. Because forcing someone to do something, just because you want it done, would be kinda like what was done to your ancestors.